I'm very excited tonight. I met John Jr. and John Sr. about 3 weeks ago, maybe, when we met. Yeah. And
I'd say about 3 weeks ago.
I saw the potential, but I was, as usual, I'm like really careful. And so I was going slow. And then I went to one webinar with him and I learned more about the operation. And I heard from 3 or 4 different people that had already ordered from them. And that made me feel even more secure. So I got even more excited. So I couldn't wait to share it with everybody that I can. And I titled the presentation New Inventory for Christmas, because we all know that we're getting ready for the holiday season. And they want you to talk really loud, John. They're saying that you're still quiet again. Okay, who am I? If you're here and you don't know who I am, you can read that. I'm not going to bore you and read it to me. That's my creds, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to get in touch with me after the webinar, probably the easiest way to do it now is to go in the new Facebook group I just started, and it's Facebook group facebook.com/groups/that cat. And if you Google that cat or that cat Simpson, I'm all over eBay. But there's my cred. So just if you don't know who I am, there you go. All right. Who are John Bullard Jr. and Sr.? They founded this organization. You can read on the slide just as well as I have. And if you're in a hurry to get signed up, there's a link down there. You have to type all this forms.aweber.whatever. But if you just wait, we'll give you the link to sign up later in the webinar. And it's all free. These guys are the real deal. They tell me again, I asked you on the last webinar, somebody asked you on the last webinar, what was the biggest month of sales you ever had on Amazon FBA? And the number blew me away. So why don't you tell the audience, what is the biggest number that you ever had on your number? The biggest month of sales.
It was over $100,000.
Did you guys hear that? Over $100,000 in 1 month in Amazon FBA. So I think they know what they're doing. When you did that figure, John, was that from you guys running around with your trailer doing retail arbitrage, or was that after you started doing the closeout and wholesale stuff?
That was actually before we started doing the closeout stuff.
Wow. So you did all of that basically just from retail arbitrage, right?
Driving around all over the place.
Okay, so that's who John Sr. and John Jr. are. Janet says 243,000. Janet, my hat is off. Congratulations to anybody that can get a 6-figure month in Amazon FBA. That's awesome. Okay, what does my inventory team do? Okay, my inventory team competes for inventory with companies like Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and even Amazon itself. Now, the way they do that, those of you who do retail arbitrage, you know that these are some of the best stores to shop on. Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. These inventory lists that my inventory team supplies to us to buy from are the same inventory lists that these stores buy from. Now, also, this is an the type of inventory list that Amazon buys from itself. John Sr., can you explain a little bit about how these inventory lists go out to these big closeout companies, and then they buy the merchandise and it ends up on the shelves of Ross and TJ Maxx and all of those?
Well, what they do is they do the same thing we do. They go to the manufacturers, and from the manufacturer's standpoint, they have closeout lists. And, they deal with Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Amazon, and the big players, and even us now. We're one of those players. Unfortunately, the one thing about these lists is that we do compete with them, so we have to make sure that we get our orders in quickly so that we can reserve these items for our network. And we've been very successful doing that, and it amazes me in the short amount of time that we've built this network on how I've been able to contact these manufacturers and get them to work with us. And a lot of that goes to with the size of the network. I mean, we've built a pretty good-sized network, and we have tremendous buying power. And, when you have tremendous buying power, these manufacturers will stand up and they'll listen to you.
Okay. They're saying that your sound is soft, so you're doing really well. But let me just, in case they didn't catch that, these are the same list these stores buy from. And that's why it's important when you get the list from my inventory team to decide what you want and get that order in fast, because we're competing with these big companies. And did you catch what John said? I know what a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, I don't want too many people to have this opportunity. But if you listen closely to what John said, the more people in this buying group, if you want to call it that, the bigger the opportunity. If we can go into a buyout place, an inventory list, and say, hey, we've got enough people that we can buy 50% of your list or 100% of your list, that gives us more buying ability, and more companies are going to give lists to us. Did I get that right, John Jr.?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. And they're still saying they can't hear you. More people equals more diversity. There you go. All right. Okay, so what do they do? Again, this inventory is sold on a first-come, first-served basis, so we get our orders in very quickly. All right? Who's making money here? This is always my first question, and I know I'm going to get rocks thrown at me for this, but I believe in complete 100% transparency. If I look at an opportunity and I think this is too good to be true, I got to find where the catch is, okay? I've been working with John and I've done 2 other webinars for them with other groups. Everybody's trying to find the catch. There is no catch, guys. This is a win-win situation. John Jr. and John Sr. make their profit from the FBA labeling service they offer. We'll tell you more about that later. That's a service you can choose to purchase or you can choose not to purchase. They also mark the items up a slight percentage. Now, of course, that's what's going to happen. Please be advised that when you get these lists and the price of the item is on the list, that is the price you pay, okay? And the bigger this network grows, the lower those prices are going to be. Right, John?
Yes, that's what we've had. Some companies already lowered their pricing. And like I said, we work on a small percentage. And the other thing is for them to keep in mind is that the shipping comes to us, and we don't add that shipping in to the price of the items.
Right.
So they're not having to pay shipping to come to us. The only shipping they would pay is from us to them or for us to send it into Amazon for them.
Absolutely. Like I said, I believe in 100% transparency. I want to know where the money's going and who's getting it. Okay? Complete transparency. Yes, I'm going to make a percentage. I'm going to make 1% of everything that anyone signs up and buys. So if that bothers you, you can sign off now. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. I still think this is an incredible opportunity. Remember the price that they're going to send you. They're going to send you a list of products with a UPC code or an ISBN number and the price, exactly what you pay. Nothing is going to be marked up. You're going to go to Amazon and look at those prices, and you are going to decide if that's a good price for you. Complete transparency. Where is people making money? That's it. I only participate in offers that I can back them 100%, okay? A lot of people come and say, hey, Kat, this is a great idea, and I look at it, and I just know there's something wrong with it. I can't figure it out, and I'll say, I'm not interested. Or they'll come and tell me, it's like, oh, you can make $1 million in 30 days, and I'm like, no, you can't. I'm sorry, but you are not going to make $1 million on Amazon your first year, most likely. You are not going to make a $100,000 sales month on Amazon your first 6 months. Okay, now I know there's exceptions to every rule, but generally speaking, that ain't going to happen. So you're not going to hear that kind of fluff from me. I don't believe it. I'm not passing it on. I only present offers that I can see where they're coming from and that it's a win-win situation. Well, this situation with the John Bullard and Sr. and Jr., this is a win-win-win, a triple win. You, the buyer, are going to win. This is a way for you to get access to closeout inventory that you would never have access to as an individual buyer until your company grew to the size of a $100,000 a month on Amazon. Then you might have that access. So you, the buyer, are going to win. John and John are going to win because the larger this buyer network grows, the better prices they're going to get from everybody, the better prices we're all going to get. And they're going to make their fees on the Amazon, the shipping process. I'm going to win with a small commission, so everybody wins. But like I said, I don't believe in hiding anything. I want you to know exactly what's going on. What is my inventory team? If we've got questions that are applicable right now, let's go ahead and we'll stop in about 5 minutes. We'll stop for questions because Karen's collecting them for me, so thank you. Okay, my inventory team is a new website business started by John Jr. and Sr. as they grow their own Amazon FBA business. Now, you guys, John and John have already told me this story, so I'm going to relay it since you're hearing my voice a little bit better. They were doing the retail arbitrage, guys, and please understand there is nobody on this webinar, myself included, that is knocking the retail arbitrage method. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good method. I, however, believe in having more than one stream of income. And I believe in having more than one stream of inventory, okay? So I want to have some wholesale items. I want to have some retail arbitrage items, and I want to have some thrift shop items. So this is a way for you to have another benefit. John Jr. and Sr. were doing the retail arbitrage, only they were doing it in a big way. They were getting a trailer and a big truck, and they were making 7-state trips buying retail arbitrage. Did I get that right, John?
Yeah, we put those miles in. I can still feel them.
Okay, I'll bet you can. Let somebody else. So anyway, this business grew out of what they were doing. Okay, how does it work? Okay, I see some questions. Great. Karen, save those for me, okay? Signing up for the newsletter is free. Okay, I'm going to give you a special link if you'll wait till the end that will sign you up with their newsletter, and there's no cost at all. Okay, this is something you can get into and check out on your own. You are going to receive emails from them with attached spreadsheets containing the available inventory as the inventory becomes available. This is made for you. It's hard to say. People want to know, how often do we get an inventory sheet? I've been doing this about 3 weeks. I think I've seen 3. So I don't know if it's once a week about average, guys, or is it more often that, or less often, or is it just ramping up? What would you tell people to expect?
Sometimes it's once a week, but I mean, we've had 1 week where we had 5. You know, we just never know. I mean, I'm constantly on the phones asking them if they have any closeouts. So I do the behind the scenes stuff and constantly stay in email contact with these people. I've got good contacts, and I'm constantly asking them if they have new merchandise. But unfortunately, when we buy the way we do, I mean, they're not going to replenish in 1 week. So sometimes, you know, that's why the more companies that we deal with, the more holes we're going to fill, and so that we don't have to, you know, have those spaces in between with lists. But
okay.
I would say on the average it's about once a week. But, you know, sometimes you may miss a week, and, you know, then the next week you may have 3 lists. We just never know.
And we may miss a week next week because the guys are going to a trade show. And this is awesome for them and for us because they're going to make more contacts with more manufacturers who have these kind of inventories. I see your questions. I am not ignoring them. We're going to get there. I just want to get the basics out there, and then we'll go back and do the questions. How does it work? There's no pressure to buy. None of us are going to email you and say, hey, how come you didn't order? In fact, I would say probably a large percentage of the people on the newsletter list already have never ordered because it takes a while. You've got to look at things and get an idea. Would that be a fair assumption, John Jr., that about half the people or more have never ordered? They're just learning about the process now?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair.
Okay, so nobody's going to yell at you if you sign up for the email list, which is free, remember, and never order anything. Nobody's going to yell at you. So go ahead and sign up if you just want to check it out. There's a website. John Jr. spent a lot of hours and installed a shopping cart now. So once you get the email, the list, the spreadsheet, and you look at them and you decide which items you want to buy and how much, then you can go to shop. There's no dot there. I did update these slides. I don't know how they didn't take. Shopmyinventoryteam.com. Okay, and that's where the shopping cart is. Minimum purchase. I'm answering questions now. Yay! I think Cherie had asked this. Several people. Elaine had asked this. The minimum purchase is $500. Okay, so this is not a buying opportunity for brand new people to Amazon FBA. As a coach, as a teacher, I probably wouldn't recommend any brand new person invest $500 in one size, one section, one type of inventory. But those of you who are past that, who are doing the retail arbitrage, who are doing the thrift shopping, who are getting ready now to go into wholesale, this is a beautiful way to get started. Minimum price is $500. Minimum purchase is $500. There is a minimum per item, 5 per item, unless there's fewer available. So I would need to order 5 of each item, and then I could order, however the dollars added up to 500, I could order 5 of several different items. That's what I did when I placed my order. I ordered 5 of this and 10 of that, 12 of that. Sometimes there's not 5 available. There's only 2 or 3 left, and that's when you'd be allowed to order less than 5. But the minimum purchase is $500. There's 5 minimum per item unless there's less. When you make your payment, now if you're paying with a credit card, you pay 100% when you place your order. Okay? And if you pay by a check or ACH, then you pay 75% when you place your order, and you get a discount off the rate for the credit card people. Then you pay the final 25% once the order is confirmed, because you've got to send your order in to John, and then he's got to go to the manufacturer and make sure that he's reserving that item. Let me get to the website in the very end, Denise, because it's going to be a little special website for you to sign up. Actually, you can go to catsinventoryteam.com, Karen. I just set that up today. If you go to cats, K-A-T-S, inventoryteam.com, you'll go to the sign up page. Okay, how do you make your payment? You can make payment via check. I mailed them a check for my first order, or you can do ACH. That's what I'm going to sign up for next. John Jr., can you explain ACH a little bit? It's kind of like a wire transfer, but I go to my bank and I say, I want to send these funds via ACH to this checking account number, right?
Right, and we just provide our bank information to you over the phone, and they pretty much can set it up.
Okay, so you can set it up one time with your bank, and then you can pay them via ACH. Now, they are now taking credit cards, so you can pay with a credit card. The difference between a credit card payment and a check or ACH payment is that you will pay less 3% discount if you pay via ACH or check than if you pay via credit card. Also, if you pay via check or ACH, you put 75% down. Then after the order is confirmed, you pay the other 25%. And if you pay via credit card, you pay the whole 100% up front so that there's not two different charges. Now, somebody's asking about PayPal. PayPal seems to have a lot of issues with large orders and large sizes. So what do you say about PayPal? You want to tell them your history about PayPal and why you're not accepting PayPal at this point?
Well, one of the things why we're not accepting PayPal is because our account got slammed. When we started first putting this together, we had so many orders come in, big orders, and PayPal said, whoa, wait a minute, and they shut us down.
Yeah.
And they slapped us on the wrist and said, okay, what's going on here? And we had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that we could not have access to. So we didn't like that. It took a while to get that unfroze from PayPal, and we just didn't want to take a chance of that ever happening again. For one, we don't want to tie that money up because we want the money to keep going so we can continue to build the network and do what we need to do.
Linda T says PayPal hates big money. Exactly, especially if it happens all of a sudden, okay? Jonathan wants to know if you can pay 100% up front with ACH for simplicity. I'm sure that John Jr. would not turn down you going ahead and paying 100% to make it easier. I paid 100%.
We generally...
Yeah.
Yeah, we generally say to do 75% up front just in case there's some shortages. That way, less refunds.
Okay.
But if you wanted to pay 100% up front, we certainly wouldn't say you can't.
Awesome. And Lloyd wants to know, will my bank charge me a fee for sending funds by ACH? I'm going to say that would depend on your bank, but generally speaking, what have you heard from your customers, guys?
It definitely depends on the bank. Some don't charge, and some charge, anywhere from $15 to $25.
Okay, and if they charge, you can always mail a check. I mean, I know it's old-fashioned, but hey. Or you could do the credit card thing. There still are checks being written, and I'll tell you about that later. Okay. Now, here's where we get the items. So, you've signed up for the newsletter at catsinventoryteam.com. Yes, the state selection does seem to be a little bit messed up on that form, but I tried it, and if you just click on your state, even though it doesn't seem to have selected it, James, it'll still go through. I tested it before the webinar. So, again, it's Cats Inventory Team, K-A-T-S Inventory Team. And yes, Cherie, this is the same team that I just did a webinar with Jim Cockrum and them. You're right. Okay, so now you've gotten the spreadsheet, and you've taken the spreadsheet and you've opened it up, and you've found there's like 1,000 items, and you've picked out 5 items that you think have a good markup on Amazon. They have a good rank. This is what you want to try. So you go to the shopping cart and you choose those items. You make sure it adds, at least it's 5 per item. You make sure it adds up to $500. You send your order in. You see what the total is. You send your money via check or ACH, or you call them with your credit card info. Now what happens? Okay? You have a choice now. And remember what John told you earlier, they're not charging us the shipping freight. So whatever it costs to get the items from the distribution center to the John and John warehouse, you're not paying for that. So now the items are going to be arriving at their warehouse, and I have a lot of pictures at the end of the webinar. I have a bunch of pictures to show you have had their process. The items are sitting in the Bullard warehouse or the My Inventory Team warehouse. You have a choice. Number 1, do you want them to ship the items to you? They will do that, and they will use their discounted UPS rates. Not as good as Amazon, but still pretty good, right, John?
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Okay. They will use their UPS rates to ship it to your house or your workplace, and you will pay them whatever it costs them to ship it, okay? Second option, here's the labeling service I was telling you about, and here's what I'm excited about for my international students. You can have John and John do the labeling and ship the items to FBA for you. Awesome. Okay, Cynthia Stein, thank you so much. She says her bank charges $5 a month, and she uses ACH for a bunch of other things. The link is catsinventoryteam.com, K-A-T-S inventoryteam.com. Okay, so if you choose to have the item shipped to you, again, John and them will box them into the separate boxes. They will contact UPS, get a quote. They'll call you and say, okay, it's going to cost you $58.62 to have this shipped to you. You will pay them, and then they will have it UPS shipped to your place. If your order is pallet sized, they have UPS freight that they will get that for you, okay? All right, good questions, Chris. We're going to get there. If you choose the FBA labeling service, this is the procedure you will follow. This is where everybody gets confused, okay? It's not that hard. If you've processed shipments to Amazon, it's just like processing your own shipment to Amazon, except instead of printing the labels and putting the labels on the items, you are going to send the form, the file of the labels to John, and they're going to do the printing. So once they say, okay, Kat, your order is here, they'll send you an email and a spreadsheet. Here's your order. Here's what you got. You open up that spreadsheet, you grab those ISBN numbers or those UPC numbers, and you add those products to your Amazon inventory. You tell Amazon, I want Amazon to ship these, just like if you had it right in front of you. You process all the items, and when you get the shipment done, you hit that button that says print labels. What happens when you hit that button that says print labels? Up pops an Adobe PDF file, right? And you hit print normally. Well, instead of hitting print, you don't print them. You save that file as a PDF and you send that file to my inventory team. Marianne's making me laugh and I'm losing my place. After you send the PDF of the labels to John, he prints those labels, he labels your stuff, he puts your stuff into a box for you. Then he sends you another email and says, okay, Kat, this shipment took 5 boxes and here's the size and the weight of each of those 5 boxes. I go into Amazon, I go through more process like I'm doing a shipment that's right in front of me. I print those PDFs, send those to John, and I'm done. Now, I put together this cool video that actually works, but the problem is, well, it worked earlier.
First place you go.
Yeah, the problem is this video is 12 minutes long, and I'm not sure you guys want to listen to the whole 12 minutes while we're sitting here together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, thank you, Christine. I'm going to put this video up on the website with the PowerPoint so you guys can watch it. Cherie says, yes, we do want to listen to it. Anyway, this is to walk you through the process because people got confused. It's going to show you exactly how to do everything, and I promise I'll put it out there. You can watch the whole 12 minutes. You can stop it and back it up and listen to my crazy voice 50 times a day if you want to. No, it's catsinventoryteam.com, Sandra. Thank you. Marianne says, a little birdie told me that John and John are located in Paris, Tennessee. Is that correct, John?
We're actually located in McKenzie, Tennessee.
McKenzie, Tennessee. Marianne, my crazy redhead friend, is about 45 minutes from you, so she'd like to come say hi. You need to coordinate with them. You need to coordinate with them because they're going to the trade show next week. So make sure when you go, they're there. Okay? Awesome. All right, I will put the PowerPoint up. I will stay up tonight and figure out how to get that up on my site, and I'll also put the video so you can see that. Okay? The reason I'm excited for my international students, and there was one lady here from Canada, I hope she's still here, is that this is the best opportunity I found yet for international. Amazon is really opening up the Amazon European opportunity, and I'm watching to see what I can help people get into and what I can get into and test out. But so far, when I've got these sellers in the UK and Canada and all of that want to sell, I don't have any way of helping them. If they choose to order through my inventory team and they choose to have the Bullards fill out all their labeling, this is a way for international sellers to participate in Amazon.com FBA. And I am really excited about that because it's the only one I've found. Mary Jo Purdue, good question. If John prints our labels and ships our items to FBA, we won't be able to inspect them. So will all of the items be guaranteed to be in new condition? We won't have to worry about negative feedback because of the condition of the items that we aren't inspecting. I would love to have you address that, John Sr., because I think that's really a very important question for folks that don't know you.
I would say that we don't send anything to Amazon that's in the condition that we wouldn't send it for ourselves. We realize that, you're putting your trust in us and your FBA account trust in us, and we don't want you to get any kind of negative feedback. And since we've been doing this, we've never had one person in our network say anything about the products. I mean, we've sent in for them. I mean, we inspect them. If there's anything wrong with the product, we take the hit, get back to the manufacturer, and we reimburse you for what you paid for that item. So we would absolutely not send anything in that we didn't feel that was good enough to send in for ourselves.
Awesome. I just wanted himself, John, to put that in his own words. When I first found the opportunity, I thought, well, I'm going to have the first shipment sent to me just so I can inspect it and make sure. And the more I got to know the guys, the more I was very, very comfortable in letting them do all the labeling and sending it in. However, John Jr., you told me, hey, Kat, if you want pictures of something, I don't have a problem with that. So if somebody's nervous and it's their first order, how would you suggest they go about this, John Jr.?
It's a matter of personal preference. I mean, if they're more comfortable, feeling and looking at the merchandise themselves the first time, I mean, we have no problem shipping it to them. And if they just want to see a picture or something like that, then we have no problem taking pictures of their merchandise either, so that they can look at it that way.
Awesome. And later, like I said, I've got a whole bunch of pictures at the end of the presentation for you to see it. Cherie wants a road trip to Tennessee, gentlemen. We may have to find a local motel and put a bunch of girls up to check out. Cerise says, if we use the labeling service, is the Amazon shipping rate used to send the products into Amazon? Absolutely. On the shipping label, the return address would be the warehouse where it's coming from. The return address, when you go in, that's in the video. You'll go into change the return address. You'll leave your business name as the name, but you'll put the address of the warehouse, okay? And yes, it will be the Amazon partner shipping rates because you're going into your Amazon account. John does not have access to your Amazon account. They never go in there. They never see it. You're doing the processing of your Amazon account, and you're technically printing out the labels. So you're printing out the labels on your printer, theoretically, at home, but you're actually sending them a file. So those labels are paid for in your Amazon account using Amazon partnered shipping. And then you're just sending a picture, so to speak, of those labels to the My Inventory team, and they're printing them out and having UPS pick them up.
You're just sending them in a PDF. You don't have to print them out. You actually just have to have a PDF sent to us of that,
yes,
so that we're able to see what you have and be able to label it and then do the steps that we need to do.
Absolutely. Can they, if they're local, Marianne's telling me she's 30 minutes from you guys, and if anybody wants to come up, they can stay with her. So I guess we don't need a hotel, John. They do want to know if they can come up, drive up and pick up their order if they're local. I don't know if you've ever had that question before.
We actually have several people that do that.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, so it's not unusual.
That would be by appointment, but that can be arranged.
And Christine, yes, that's also what you send them. First, you get the item numbers, the UPC codes, and you process them into your Amazon account like you're adding a product. When you get to the step of printing those 30 up labels, you send, instead of printing it, you send that PDF to the guys. Then they label the items, put them in the boxes, send you the information about how many boxes, what size are the boxes, how much the boxes weigh, and then you take that information and that's how you print, or that's how you get the PDF of the box labels. Okay? All right. How do we know which warehouse the product is sent to? You'll be printing the labels, Robert. You won't be actually printing them, but you'll be pulling them up in a PDF. And so you'll have all the information right there. You'll know exactly where they're going. Okay? And you'll have the box dimensions and the weights from the guys. Marianne, my crazy redhead, says when she comes to see you, she's bringing cookies, guys. Okay?
Cool.
I think they would like that. Are they actually using the 30 up labels, or can they use a PDF of a single scan and ship label? Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm thinking the 30 up labels
typically use the 30.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 30 up labels. Although if it's a PDF, I'm guessing that as long as it would print on the 30 up, we'd be okay. Carol, that might be something you'd want to talk with them on individually. Okay. Oh, here's the pictures. Okay, here comes the orders. This is the truck pulling up to the warehouse of the last order. And here's your son Danny, I guess, unloading the truck. And there's taking the information into the warehouse. Into the warehouse it goes on those great big wonderful blue jack things. There it is, all lined up. It's off the truck. These are the boxes the guys have. Notice you aren't being charged for boxes, but these are stacks of brand new boxes they buy from Home Depot to ship your stuff in or to ship it to you or to Amazon. And these are some product examples. So see these pictures, and even if you ask a little extra special, I'm sure they take even better ones. These pictures could definitely be used as Amazon product images. You'd have to remove the background, a forklift. Thank you, Beth. I thought it was a jack or something. Anyway, This one shipment that you took pictures of is all baby stuff, so it all looks like it's all baby stuff. But they had they have other items also, right, John?
Yeah, that was just quick pictures. I mean, obviously, we send pictures into Amazon. They're not on Home Depot boxes. It was just something quick put together just so we could give them an idea of the quality, and you can see they're all brand new.
Oops, and I'm back to the beginning. Well, that's what happens when you go to the end. Okay, great. All right, let's cover some more questions, and I'll just freeze it on a picture of that item, I guess. There we go. Okay, let's see. How does the state sales tax work? Will we need a Tennessee resale license? Actually, Patty, your inventory will not be residing in Tennessee. It's just a processing center, so I don't think that would make you liable. But remember, I'm the girl that helped write the book about registering in all 10 states where Amazon has a warehouse, and Tennessee is one of the states where Amazon has a warehouse. So if you're doing FBA, in my opinion, you should already be registered in the state of Tennessee. And if you want to know more about that, it's ecomsalestax.com. Yes, sir?
And if they're picking it up, they absolutely have to have a tax ID, because when you're picking something up in the state of Tennessee from a warehouse in Tennessee, they require us to make sure that you have a tax ID number.
Okay, great. Let's see. What questions do we move? Do you use your own service for your FBA business? And I think what they're asking here is this the same type of merchandise that you sell on Amazon now?
It is the same. That's a good question. It is the same type of merchandise that we sell. However, the very most important part of this is that when these lists come out, we don't cherry pick them. These lists go right to you first, and then whatever's left over that you guys don't pick, we go through and we choose the ones that we want. And thank you, because we've had several that you guys haven't picked that we've had good results with. So we don't take the list until you guys actually go through the list. We don't do anything with it. We let our network go. You know, that we're fair and upfront and honest people. And that's very unheard of for someone to put a list out and say, oh, I want this, and then send it out. That's not our beliefs. We have a higher belief than that.
I think this is the right time for you to tell your story, because it is important for people to understand your motivation. Because this is definitely, from a business perspective, if I was a business person doing this, I would look at this list, pick what I wanted, send the rest out to you guys. That's not the way the Bullards are doing this, and there's a reason. John, you want to tell your story of why you wanted to start doing this?
Well, my story is I've always liked to help people, and I've been in the corporate world for a long time, but back in January of this year, I had my appendix burst, and I was given 24 hours, to live, and it just scared the heck out of me, and to the point where I realized that, I don't have much time on this earth, and there's a lot of things that I want to accomplish, so I promised myself, from the fact that God kept me here, there was a reason for it, and I do believe that the reason was to reach out and help as many people, and this network became born because of that, and allows me to reach out and touch as many people as I can, and we definitely look at this network. Yes, we do make something off of it, but we get more enjoyment by paying it forward and seeing the success stories that you can see on our website from people that, post in our integrity section. It's just about helping people, and I think that's the way that we want it to be, is to reach out there, and it's very few people out there do what we do and care the way that we do, and we want to make you successful, and we're here to do anything that we can to help you achieve that, and it's just paying it forward, and our only hope is that from people seeing what we do, that it just kind of gets paid forward. If you become successful out of this, that you pay forward, and it goes on and goes on. We want to see what kind of changes we can make throughout the world by the time I'm done. At least that's my goal.
I love that, and that's why I wanted you to share that, because there has to be a reason. Obviously, they have to make enough money to be able to keep doing it and not run themselves into the poorhouse. But the reason for doing it is to help other people grow the way they have, and it's just a business model I can get behind. Okay, lots more questions. If Amazon splits the shipments and that results in a very small shipment to one fulfillment center, are you willing to hold that until more can be added, or do I have to send it regardless of size? And I think that's when I'm doing them at home and I have a shipment that only has one item in the box, I'll just set that aside until my next shipment. Is that possible with your warehouse, or how would you handle it? Maybe just have that one item sent to me personally, or how would you suggest we handle that, John Jr.?
We can do it either way. In most cases, we can hold it for you. But we certainly could send it to you if you thought it would be more cost effective to do it that way.
Okay, and that's the other reason that I went with the labeling service was after I got more comfortable with the guys, and after you sign up at Cat's Inventory Team, go on over to myinventoryteam.com. There's a page on the website called Integrity, and that's where people are talking about what they bought from them, because this is the first webinar I've done where there hasn't already been a couple people in the chat room that had already bought from them. I ran into Maureen Benner out at SCOE, and she has been buying from you guys for several months, evidently. She's real happy. Every other webinar, there were a couple of people on the webinar that had already been buying and had made money, so that was a good recommendation. Since we don't have that here tonight, I would strongly recommend you check out their website. The Integrity page should have a lot of that on there. Okay, what other categories do you have? Do you have toys? So let's talk about the different categories again. Right now I see 2 baby lists and 1 pet supply list. So are there going to be other categories, and how does that go? Let's address that again.
Well, I guess that's my question, since I'm the one that's working the manufacturer's end, and I'm constantly looking for different avenues and different ways we can get different types of merchandise in different categories. So if there's anybody on this call, too, and you find something that you say, hey, I think this manufacturer would be a good fit for my network, has to be a fit for the network. This is what I'm talking about by paying it forward. I don't want it to be that, it's something that you just like. I want the network to benefit from it. So if it's something like that, I will contact the manufacturers and see what we can do. As far as the toys are difficult. Toys are hard. A lot of these big companies have these outlets that they use, and they don't like to have the third-party people. I mean, as we grow and continue to grow, they are taking notice. I've had some of them, at least talk to me a little bit now, where in the beginning they wouldn't give me the time of day. So I will keep knocking on those doors, and I'm confident that at some point we will get in with some of these toy companies. So I will keep doing that. We do have electronic companies we work with. We have the baby items we specialize in because everybody needs baby. The pet is something new. We just started the pet, and somebody told me that they'd like to see pets, see if we can get a hold of pet products. And when they told me that, I went out and I contacted some pet product companies, and I was able to land a pet product company and possibly maybe a second one coming up soon. So that is something we're always looking for. What you need? What are you looking for? What do you want me to try and get? I have no problem contacting manufacturers and telling them, we buy closeouts and who we are and what we can do and buy from them. Mm-hmm. So we just need ideas. I mean, I can only do so much, and I'm out there. I run to the stores a lot, and I'll look at items in the store and say, wait, that might be something that'd be great for the network. And I'm constantly trying to find out numbers and call manufacturers. So we're always on the lookout for new items and new categories, and that's why we go to these trade shows, like the one we're going to in a few days is a baby one, but we're going to come back with, another company, and we're going there, and one of them has educational toys for children, so
cool.
And they do closeouts, so we're looking real hard at that, and hopefully that they'll be able to meet our network and the prices that we need for the network, and we'll be adding them to our list of manufacturers. We're real excited about meeting this company, and they're real excited about meeting us.
Yeah, and that's another reason for the network to keep growing. The larger the network, the more purchasing power that we have together, the more of these manufacturers are going to be willing to talk to us. Yes, myinventoryteam.com, Sandra, and there's a page on there called Integrity. Okay, quick. Second time I've seen this question. When items need additional bagging, do they do that too? And someone else asked about suffocation labels. Because a lot of these baby items, now like this one that I'm showing the picture already is sealed. It wouldn't need any special bagging. But like this rug that came in here, are you going to put that in a bag for us and put a suffocation label on that also, John Jr.?
It depends on the age of as far as for the child's age. If it's over a certain age, then we don't have to bag it for Amazon regulations. But I mean, we have bags available to bag the items.
Well, that's interesting because I thought that anything that had plush, it wasn't an age thing. It was if any had any exposed plush, it had to be covered. So the age thing is kind of new to me. Okay, but when it has to be bagged per Amazon, then you go ahead and you have those bags available, and you do that for us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we carry the suffocation bags with the labels.
Oh, I'm going to laugh at you because they laughed at me. Every time I call them suffocation bags, they're like, no, Kat, they're non-suffocation bags.
But we knew we were children at one time. We know what they were called.
Exactly. They're going to suffocate somebody. Get away from them. Okay. Good question. Beth wants to know if I have my Pennsylvania tax ID and I want to drive down to Tennessee and pick up my stuff and take it back to Pennsylvania with me, is that okay, or do I need to have a Tennessee tax ID also to pick it up from your warehouse?
She would be required to do what Pennsylvania tells her to do. The only ones that would be required to have the tax ID, from my knowledge, would be if they lived in Tennessee and they were picking up from us in Tennessee.
Okay. All right. That'll work. Okay. Good question from Carol. Is there a cap on the number of participants in the program, or are we potentially competing with thousands of FBAers? And I think I've made the argument for the largest network we can get. So why don't I let you explain why you're going that direction, not putting a cap?
Well, one of the reasons why we're not putting a cap is that, if you were out there doing what we did and did the 7 states and got all this product and shopped around, well, you're not the only one out there doing it. So as far as competition, you already have competition out there all over the country that you're competing with. This, you're only competing with the people in the network. The only difference is it's a network of people. It's not all over the world, all over the country, that people that you can't see. This is a network where you guys get to pick an item. If you buy out that item, the only competition that you're going to have is yourself and whoever else finds it on the alternative outlets, like at Marshall's or Ross or TJ Maxx. You might find one or two of them, but here you have the opportunity to buy large quantity. And because of that, the selling methods that we teach are a little bit different and have to be a little bit different. You have the opportunity sometimes in this network to, literally buy out a line item that has 500 items. Would you send that into FBA? I wouldn't. I would send most of it to myself and send some into FBA. That's how we would do that. So we're trying to train and teach different buying methods, and this is totally a different thing because you're not going into a store where you want to buy 5 or 6 and the store only has 2. You're getting a list that has many, many, many items on the list, and it's going to shell shock you a little bit because you're not going to believe that, you may see one item that comes across that has 1,000 of them. Mm-hmm. And it's just unheard of if you're going out there doing retail arbitrage. You can't get that kind of volume. So as far as the competition, the only competition you have is what's in the network. And if you buy out the item into small quantities, if you see there's 10 of an item and that's all there is, nobody else can get it, Amazon or nobody, then the only competition you're going to have is, what's on Amazon now, and when they sell out, you're going to have the buy box and you'll be the only one. And we've done that several times. So the competition thing we're not afraid of. Building the network is what we need to do, and continue to build it, because what Kat was saying earlier is exactly right. We open the doors. When we started dealing with this and we started getting manufacturers to take notice and we started buying tractor trailers, well, what happens is now you start talking to other ones and you have these companies that you're dealing with and you tell them, I'm buying tractor trailers from these companies. They stand up and say, we want to be part of that. Mm-hmm. So it kind of goes from one to, it's like a system. It goes from one to another to another. It kind of just keeps piggybacking, and that's how we've been able to do this. So at some point we may cap it. I don't know. I don't think that we ever will, because I just think there's so much product out there and so much variety that we can get that it'd be very hard for you to have a whole lot of competition. You may have a few people in the network, but the other thing about the network is not everybody's buying at the same time. I mean, you might buy from one list that we have, and somebody else might buy from another list. There's never one person dominating, coming back every list we have and doing it. So, and they know that. The people that buy in this network know, well, if I didn't get this list, they'll have more. And that's one way you can handle that. But as far as, like I said, the competition end, it's the same type of thing as you going to a mom and pop store or a major, store like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, or any of those, Target, any of those type of stores. You're doing the same thing basically with us, but it's through a network where you're buying. You might go into Target and say, wow, these are on clearance. I'll take all 5 of these. And then you'll think it's, wow. And then, but there's, 300 people across the country doing the same
at
thing.
Their targets.
Know we're doing the same thing.
That pretty much answered Mary Jo's question. And Mary Jo, these are really good questions about competition. It's something everybody should look at. Mary Jo said if all of us buy from the same shipments, will be too many of us selling the same item, which will flood the market. And I think that you addressed that very clearly. If that's a concern of yours, then your best option is to find 1 or 2 products on the list that you really think are the way to go and buy all of them. And I did see some items that had 1,000. I also saw some items that had 10, and I saw some items that had 50. So it is possible to do that if that's really the direction you want to go. Another good question from Vicky. If a lot of us respond, are you prepared to handle the increase it causes? And she says, thank you in advance for your answer.
We're prepared. I mean, we've grown tremendously, and we have a system down now where we're pretty good at what we do. I mean, we've had 2-3 tractor trailers a week sometime come in from the manufacturers, and we're able to handle it. I mean, if we do grow beyond the family operation, we will bring people in and train them and get them to do what we do. But as of right now, we're not concerned about the growth. We're concerned about the buyers and the people that want to make money and help this network continue to grow so that they can benefit from what we're able to do, as well as us benefit and everybody else that's in this network. Excellent,
excellent. Okay, good question from Mitchell Cope. What percentage of your product on the list is already in the Amazon catalog approximately? Everything I bought was in the catalog, but I don't think it's possible that everything on the list is already on there. Do you have a percentage you could throw out there?
I don't know if there's an actual percentage you can throw out because it's closeout merchandise. And sometimes, you may find everything is on that list. Sometimes you may find, like a list that we had with the pet food. That was very difficult to find anything on it. The pricing was just so good, but it was very difficult. And the other thing is, and Kat and I, agree on this, is that if it's not on Amazon and it's not on eBay, I'll buy it. Because you know what? I know if I put it up on Amazon, I'm going to be the only seller.
It's a good
so you want
thing.
to talk about not having competition? That's the best way. And we've done that and been very successful doing that. So I'm not afraid of an item that's not on eBay or not listed on Amazon. That doesn't scare me at all. Mm-hmm. We actually look for those items, and we will put those items up on ourselves, and then we have no competition.
And like I said,
when you buy it right, you can sell anything.
Excellent. James wants to know, how often are the current lists updated? I guess let's ask that question this way. Once you put out a list and you allow like 3 or 4 days and then you put your order in, is that list over, or do you keep accepting orders from that list, and do you keep updating the quantities available?
We usually have a deadline, and the shopping cart now keeps track of the inventory for us. So, I mean, if you can't find it on our site, then it's probably sold out. But after usually 48 to 72 hours, we shut it down, and that's it for orders, because we have to finalize the order with the supplier, so that we can, and everyone's not waiting to receive their merchandise.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And then we actually use, right now we typically cycle the suppliers that we work with. So, after one's done, we throw out another one, and then the next one, and it kind of rotates.
Okay.
In order.
Okay, great. And we've got a suggestion from Cherie to look for medical devices, and Debbie Womack wants clothing. So there they go. They're reminding you that the soft stuff has to be bagged in fabric. How much is the fee for the labeling service? Grady, this is a variable fee. I placed a small order, a $500 order, my first one, and it was $50. The average fee, according to what the guys have said, the average fee for a pallet full of merchandise is between $100 and $150. So that's kind of an estimate out there of what the labeling service costs. Anything else you want to add to that, guys?
I just want to say that, and we usually give you a quote, and you can always have it shipped to you if you prefer.
Yeah. Okay, great. So you can definitely you can find out when it gets there, or when you place the order, how much is this going to be, and then you can decide which way you want to go. Danny wants to know, do we get to know the number of people in the network? Are you wanting to release the number of how many people? And that's going to be hard too, Danny, because even if they told you there were 600 people on the newsletter list, again, about 300 of them aren't ordering. So is that a number that you're willing to release?
Plus, the other part about that, about his question, is that we'd like to keep him private. We don't want our members knowing, the other members. We want to help everybody.
Okay.
But we would like to, that's your own private thing. Just like we don't go into your accounts and we don't want any part of your Amazon account. We just want, labels and what we need.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it. I could throw out numbers, but again, I don't know if that is going to, make people happy or make them,
unhappy.
Say, "Wow, you got too many members." Because, like I said, we have lists, and there's plenty of people on the list that buy, and then there's plenty of people that are on the list that just they're probably watching and seeing. Well, sometimes it just takes somebody to be able to pull a trigger, and not everybody pulls the trigger all at once.
Okay, exactly. And a lot of people, the thing is, supposedly in email marketing, that they have to see it 7 times before they act on it. I'm thinking a lot of people on this list may be like that too. Good question from Teresa. The categories on the current inventory list are crossed out. Does that mean nothing is available? The last ad appears to be September 29th. How often do opportunities become available? So we did address that earlier, Teresa, but it's not too late to address it again. The lists come out as often as the guys can get them. Right?
Right, and we're gearing down because we're going to a trade show, so we don't want to, put something out there, and it might be a while before we get back to them because we're going to be busy doing other things.
We're going to the trade show, so it may be down for a couple of weeks here, or at least a week.
We should be back by Thursday. It won't be down for a couple of weeks, but we have a trailer that just came in that we're working to get out. We have to, that's their best interest is when we get the trailer in, we want to get it out as soon as we can. So we need to get this merchandise out and where it needs to go, to Amazon or to our clients by Friday. Otherwise, it's going to sit here until next Thursday when we get back. So that's why we haven't bombarded ourselves with any list. I mean, we do have another tractor trailer that we're waiting on coming in, but we don't think it's going to come in before then, so we're hoping that it doesn't. They haven't even gave us a confirmation on it yet, so we're kind of just in limbo with that, and hopefully it comes in after we get back. But normally these lists, as we get them, we post them, and you'll see it right away. And we're hoping, like I said, the best part about this on these people that are on the call is that you're the first to hear that from this show, we will be doing live from the show. If there's closeout lists that they want to move from the show, we're going to have our laptops with us live, and we're going to be pushing out lists.
Oh, wow. Straight from the show? Cool.
Straight from the show.
Okay. They want to know if there's any other legalities involved. I think they're asking if there's a contract or anything they have to sign or anything like that. I haven't seen anything.
No.
Okay.
There's no contract. This is a free membership. It's almost unheard of that what we're doing, but
there's no NDA.
Sometimes it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we're basically doing is we're giving you a list from the manufacturers. Nobody out there is doing this. We're actually giving you the UPCs when available, so you can look these things up on Amazon. You're going to look the items up and pick what works for you, and then you have the option. I'm too busy. I don't want to have it shipped to me. You do it for me. Mm-hmm. You don't ever have to see the product. It can actually come into us, and you can do what Kat's going to do in about 2 days, look at her account and see that her items are being received.
Yay! I can't wait for that. Okay, someone's asking if you have any memory of how much the Monkey Mania Nursery Collection thing was, or the Sweet Latte. They found them on Amazon, and they're all excited because they saw the product in the picture and went to Amazon and found it. Do you have any? I mean, I know that's probably like eight orders ago, but John, do you have any remember of how much those were?
How much it cost the network?
How much it cost the network?
I think it was. I'm going to guess $40 to $50.
It was 60. I just looked it up.
It cost the Monkey Mania Nursery Collection cost about $60. Right.
And for the person that was on the call, what's it going for?
I don't know.
There were sets that the network price was $50.
Okay, some were $50. I think I got one for like $35, but okay, it was a different one.
Yeah,
okay.
It depends on the crib set.
Okay, good. If there are 50 of an item and several people order the same 50, how do you handle that?
The shopping cart doesn't allow that now.
Oh, good. Now we have it with the shopping cart. Can we ask what the labeling pricing? Yes, Carol, I think I covered that. It's average cost for a pallet full of items is $100 to $150. I placed a very small order, and it was $50. They will give you an estimate when you place your order, and you can decide if you want to do it or not.
The minimum amount is $50.
Okay, minimum amount is $50 for your $500 orders. They want to know if food, do you find out the expiration dates? Have you ever done food?
We have not yet.
Okay, let's see. And talking about food, they want more information. Absolutely. Oh, having them do the labeling saves us the shipping fees to us. Right? Exactly, Danny. That's another reason I decided to do it, because I could have paid them probably $50 to ship 6 boxes to me via UPS, or I could have paid them $50 to label everything and ship it to Amazon. So I was much happier paying them and letting them do that. I can't wait. Nobody knows who's a member or not. That's correct. And people do not have to order every week. There's no requirements, Cherie. There's no cost. There's no requirements. The link to the shopping cart feature is shopmyinventoryteam.com. Okay? Sounds great. The contact info.
If they go, sorry about that, Kat, but if they go to the Shop My Inventory Team shopping cart,
yes,
they'll see there's no list in there right now. Even though they see the list up on the website where they're crossed out,
it's a sample.
That's just to show them and get them familiar with what the list looked like. We don't want to send out a list to somebody and them not be familiar with it, so we left those up as a training tool, but they're crossed out just so you can see and get familiar with what those lists actually look like.
Excellent. Great idea. I meant to put a list actually in my presentation and forgot. Marianne says she'll come and help you unload trucks. Okay, the contact information for those who are asking, go to catsinventoryteam.com to sign up for the newsletter, katsinventoryteam.com to sign up for the newsletter. And you'll get an email asking you to confirm. And after you confirm, you'll get a sample list to show you what the list looks like and some information from the guys. Good comment. Debbie Womack says, for those who don't think they have $500, Cabbage would be a great way to get started. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Cabbage would be a good way to get started there. And I think, let's see.
And Cabbage will be partnering with us. They will be one of our partners on the site where when they go to My Inventory Team, we will be having a Cabbage link. So that'll be available right there, too. They're going to be one of our partners.
Excellent, excellent. Cabbage is a great company. Grady says, how long is the turnaround time from ordering to receiving the products to ship to us? You guys want to take that one?
Go ahead, John. I'll let you take it. I've talked enough.
Well, it really depends on the supplier. I mean, we have some suppliers where it may take a few weeks overall, and then we have a supplier like the last one that we just had. That's JoJo Designs. We sent in our order last week. It arrived today, and everything will be sent to Amazon. Pending our customers providing the information by Friday.
Wow, that was fast. And mine would have been very fast, except that I was on a trip and I didn't get my stuff done. Okay, bumper pads. Good reminder. You guys are aware that Amazon is refusing the crib sets that have bumper pads in them now, right? That's brand new. Yeah. So we're gonna watch out for those.
Most of the companies have changed over.
Yeah.
Like the ones that we've dealt with, they've changed over where they don't have the pads in them. They sell them separate. So, and that's one of the questions when we get the list. We ask if they have the bumper pads, and if they have the bumper pads, we take it off the list so you won't even see it.
Yeah, I'm laughing at the chat because they're having a good time. It's Monkey Mania. Danny Ackerman says it looks like it's selling for about $150. So buy for $60, sell for $150. Yeah, I'd like that at those numbers. That's good. Just to clarify, if the list has a line through it crossed out, those items are no longer being offered. So currently there are no offerings. Exactly, Teresa. The sample list is up there with everything crossed out, just so you can see what a list looks like. The shop cart is up there, but you can't buy anything. Okay, great. How cool is they're liking this. So we can tell Cabbage to send them the money. I don't think that'll work, Beth. I think the money's still going to have to go into your account and then to theirs. Hey, Cabbage, send these guys some money, would you? Yeah, that'd be really cool. We'll have to ask Cabbage if they can work on that, but I don't think that'll work for right now. Okay, so like I said, it's free to sign up. Go check it out. If you never find anything to buy, that's great. If you do, that's great too. It's just another inventory source that I wanted you guys to know about, and it's free to look up. Good. Grady says, I looked it up on the FBA calculator, and you would make $57 profit if you got it for $60 and sold it for $150. Good job. Yeah, it does sound like a good one. Yeah, Cherie's on her way to Tennessee. Jennifer Jones can't wait for the next list. And Beth says, hey, that's a great idea. You need to streamline that Cabbage situation. If the money comes here, it'll never make it to you. Carol, thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. Did I miss any questions, Karen? I should unmute Karen so she can... Oh, you are unmuted. Did I miss anything? I think we got them. Okay, well, I have her unmuted, so we'll see. Oh, she doesn't have a mic. That was it. Okay, last words are for you guys. Anything you want to say to potential new members of your list?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, they don't know us, like you didn't know us, and you come to know us and trust us. And I think the biggest thing that most people go through is that it's too good to be true. Mm-hmm. Well, this actually is true. And the biggest question is, are you going to take action? because most of us, I've signed up for many things in my life, done many courses and things like that, and you get bogged down with your life. You'll see this, and then you'll go about doing your normal stuff and forget about it. Well, you have the opportunity through this to get products that are name brand products, brand new, not store returns, not shelf pulls, and you really do have the opportunity, if you take the time and take action, to really make something happen with this. I mean, we did it. We started out with a very small amount of money, and we did it, and we're not the only ones out there that, is capable of doing this. We truly believe that there's many people in this network that are going to be successful, and will continue to show integrity success stories. It's just, the hardest part is taking that first step and saying, okay, I want to do this. And there's no pressure. I mean, you can either do it or you don't have to do it. We're just saying that, in order to make something happen, you have to take those first steps, and you have to say, hey, let me give this a shot, and see what happens, and go from there.
Absolutely. And they're very excited. And if you have any questions, I'm not disappearing. Email me at cat@catsimpson.com. Go to my inventory team and contact them. Ask the guys a question. I will be on Facebook at groups.com/thatcat for a couple hours tonight while I try to figure out how to get this video up on the website so you can hear it. Like I said, there's no risk here, guys. There's nothing going to happen. Nobody's going to email you and say, hey, how come you joined, didn't buy anything? There's no pressure. If it works for your business, it's an awesome opportunity. If it doesn't, that's okay. Is it a concern for new FBAers due to the dollars or choosing items? Sorry, I would say both. That's why I'm concerned about the new guys. I think that it's better for someone who has a little bit more experience in what items to choose, although if you wanted to get started this way, I would call John and ask him to help you with the list. Would you be willing to do that for a couple of people that are kind of new, to kind of teach them how? I know Nathan and I talked about some kind of training to show people how to choose items from the list. Maybe that's something we need to work on.
Yeah, we can give them pointers and stuff like that. We just can't pick items out for them because of litigations and things like that. But we would certainly show them, And I think what John and I are going to do as we move forward here, and we've talked about this, is we're going to star items that we would buy.
Oh, and that's a great idea.
And we're going to put it out to the network and say those star items. Basically, we're saying if you don't buy it we're buying it.
Oh, that would be, I don't know about everybody else. I think that would be really helpful. And, that's probably where I can come in as some training and some help. And also, I'm keeping track of everything I buy from them, so I can tell you guys how fast it sold, what the turnover was, what my margin was, whatever. Beth has a great idea for you guys to look at. Oh, okay. I think, Michelle, I put the link in wrong. It's shopmyinventoryteam.com. There's no dot between shop and my inventory team. Sorry about that, Michelle. Beth has a great idea for you, Beth Cherkowski from Depression Glass Warehouse. Have you considered making package deals like 500, 1,000, 5,000? This package is pet stuff for 500, baby things for 1,000. That might be something to look into down the road.
That's actually something that Nathan had mentioned to me yesterday.
Oh, getting started. Oh, okay. It says it's Cat's inventory team, not Cat's my inventory team. Oh, Beth says great minds think alike. Okay, let's get the links right here. It's catsinventoryteam.com, and it is shop. Let's see, I gotta have another question to answer. Shopmyinventoryteam.com. There we go. I think we got them both in there. No worries. Oh, do you guys have a Facebook group, John?
Right now we don't.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that. Come join the that cat group. That's where I'm going to be talking about it for a long time. So we'll do that. Karen is always around to help.
The other thing too, Kat, that we're plans down the road of what we're trying to do is we're eventually going to get to the point where we buy the whole list of what's available.
I love
and
that.
And then the only people that are going to have access to it will be our network. So whoever's in this network is going to have the privilege and be able to work what we have from the list. There's not going to be Amazon or any of those people that are going to have access to it because we bought everything. And then we're going to put it out to our. Some of the lists, obviously, we can't do that, but that's a goal of ours, and that's why we continue to keep adding more members, because the more members we get, the better buying power we get. At some point in time, we're going to get to the point where we're going to bring this into us and say, this is an exclusive list for our members, and nobody has it. Amazon or anybody can get it. We have it. We own the inventory.
See, I love that, guys, and I have this little sneaky little devil sitting on my shoulder because I've heard so many people tell me at SCOE that they had a great selling product. They were making all kinds of money, and then Amazon started selling the product. Now, Amazon promises they never do that, but I've heard a lot of large sellers tell me that. So this makes me kind of smile and kind of like payback when our group could actually get an inventory list and buy it all, and there's none left for Amazon. So that, I'm sorry, that's just a little smile on my shoulder for that. Okay, I think we've exhausted the questions. You guys want investors, men at work standing by. They're offering. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I think we've covered it all. Again, if you have any questions, come over to the Facebook group, email me, kat@katsimpson.com. The replay of this webinar, questions and all, along with the video, will be up on catsinventoryteam.com. It's another page on my That Cat website, but I thought it'd be an easier URL to give out. So, okay, guys, thanks so much. They all say thank you. We will see you guys on the list and in Profitable Amazon. Okay, the Facebook group, Peter, is facebook.com/groups/thatcat. Or you can just search Facebook for That Cat. I'm out there somewhere. Bye-bye, everybody.
And you gave
Yep.
And you gave them, Kat, the link to sign up.
Yep.
Right.
The link for your newsletter is right on that page, that Cat's Inventory Team page. So we're set, and it is a closed group. Yes, it is.
And we'd like to thank everybody that took the time tonight. We know it's a little bit late at night to listen in on this, and like I said, this is a great opportunity, and hopefully, you guys will be out there and you'll take advantage of this. And we're here, willing to help, and you can call us at any time.
Amen. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.